Check. Can you feel it?
Explosions? Cut!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is time for everyone's favorite show. That's right, it's your host with the most. Hey, it's your boy with the flow. Hey, yo, it's me, Calypso. What it do? What it do? What it do? Welcome to Calypso's Lounge Bar Style at the Tin Roof Tavern. Welcome back to another exciting episode. Today's episode on Calypso's Lounge, we talk about what it's like to not have a field schedule. God, that's weird. Bring it on back so you can feel what it's like. Yeah! All right. Now, Notorious hit us with a fun fact already. One of the voices mixed into the track is actually Ness. Voice is sounding slightly better. That is true. That is true. It would help if I would just stop talking. That would be the most help. Yes, it would. But you know what? I don't listen to that too much. So I'm going and relying on Plan B. Okay, Plan B. All my alcohol should have honey in it. I think that's Plan B. I hear honey like coats the throat, makes it all better. It's what I hear. My wife told me you should have some honey. I'm just listening to the doctor's orders. That's all I'm saying. Welcome everyone back. So glad to have you here. Oh man, today's show is it's a doozy. Yeah. We're starting off today's show with my very best impression of B Rabbit. I didn't even realize that until I pressed record. Yeah, yeah. It would be less funny if I wouldn't be, close to Michigan. Now, granted, I'm much further away now than what I used to be. It was literally just a skip. Now it's a little bit further, but the fact that I'm still pretty close, it's kind of ironic. Not ironic, just funny. Today's episode, we have some information on Spot On. We have some information on the well. Holy goodness. That is uncanny. Frozen, how did. Wow. Notorious. That is amazing. You have Frozen Fire Sword in a box, and you were just like, boop, and there he is. That's amazing. Frozen in the house. Uh, what's up, Frozen? You've been busy lately. What's been going on? We need our soundboard so I could get the spawn in sound to come through. That'd be awesome. I'd like to do that. How's Monkey Balls? He's all back from the family, right? Did he enjoy his trip? Hope he enjoyed his trip. Work, Pokemon Go, all this stuff. And not even in that order, right? Not even in that order. I love that you were still so dedicated to Pokemon Go. I love that. Oh, for the Brothers B Day? Oh, that's pretty awesome. I bet they were drunk as all get up. No, I bet they had fun. I don't. Who knows what they did, but I bet they had fun. Birthdays are usually a good time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the recap. Yeah, I think just now by this point I just like doing that. I don't even have the visual effects for it. I just like doing recap. Level 51 to 80 dropped. Lots of stuff to do. Text to complete. Yeah, how close are you to the decks? I'm just curious. Like, are you in the top 1% of all collected Pokemon? And I understand that that's probably far fetched with the fact that you'd only collect certain Pokemon in certain regions and all, but yeah, I know, right? I kind of want a reading rainbow type of thing. I don't know why. I just think that would be funny. See a rainbow come out of my hand. It's like recap. There are 917 currently, and you have 1,025. I'm curious, at what number does it start getting classified as obsession? Oh, actually, here's a better question. Here's a better question. Hold up. Here's a better question. You're currently caught up. Oh my goodness, that's that's amazing. Here's the new question. Does the girlfriend have the exact same amount? Like, because I know you guys play that together. Like, is she up there with you too? Because then that's even funnier. And funny in a great way, might I add. Definitely obsession with the tons of hours. So yeah, see, I get that. Yeah, no, that seems. But honestly, I think any video game you play nowadays, you have to be obsessed with. Because, dude, I think every game's a grind. Luck, one of Luck's favorite games, which by the way, shout out to Luck for getting to 10,000 trophies on Clash Royale. But in order to get to 10,000 trophies in Clash Royale, you have to be obsessed with that game to be able to play it. Just saying, like, I think every game, no matter how short, how long, you have to be obsessed nowadays. So, girlfriend's pretty close too. Okay. She's missing just regional stuff. I get that. So and this is what's funny. I know we are not talking about the bar right now, which is kind of funny. Anyone sticking with us in the bar, I will get back to the bar here in just a few minutes. Um, but to go back, trading with Frozen is kind of funny because when you trade Pokemon with Frozen, you have to understand, like he said, he has like every Pokemon, and he probably has more than plenty of the same kind over and over. So he's gonna trade you like something that you're like, oh my God, I've been waiting so long to get this. And he's like, yeah, sure. You can have this, but I want this one random thing that you feel is like normal. That you were like, yeah, I caught that over there. Like, that's nothing. Yeah, I'll trade you that. This is special. And I feel like that every time I trade with Frozen Fire Sword. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he's screwing me over in any way. He gives me almost everything I want to trade for. But it just I always feel like I'm trading like for nothing in the long run for him, what seems like nothing for him. Just throwing that out there. My shiny Mewtwo is doing good, although I get beat like almost all the time. Yeah, I know. I'm not as good with my Mewtwo yet. I don't also play as much as I used to. So there is that. There is that. I still have the Charmander, absolutely, and I also still have the very first one we traded. I don't get rid of that one either. Yes, I got to power him up, but I don't play nearly as much as I should or need to. Been slightly busy, although with as much traveling as I've been doing, playing Pokemon Go would have probably been pretty rewarding. I think my only problem is with Pokemon Go at the time, every time I play it, is I never have enough room. I just never have enough room. Oh, I have no doubt that as soon as, dude, as soon as Frozen gets here, we will be a Pokestop. Because, like, he can make Pokestops. He has that, he plays that game so much, he has that power. Oh, they rebalance the XP curve. Okay. Well, that's cool. See? No doubt. Oh, but I'm all for it being a Pokestop. Dude, all the kids at school will start coming by just so that way they can play Pokemon. I mean, that'd be fun for me. I know. I got to get to the recap. Hold up, recap. What did we do yesterday? No, here's the recap. Yesterday we took care of our very first complaint, and I very loosely say the word "took care of." We received our first complaint and we addressed it, I should say. The complaint we received was not preventing negative comments. The way I handled it was I informed the person that was complaining about the negative comments that I didn't necessarily see them as negative, although I saw where they were coming from. I had reminded them that I had asked for information like, hey, what would you like to see in the future? What would make things better? And so the community was commenting on what they think would make things better for them. And unfortunately, some of those comments ended up being taken a little personal. They weren't meant necessarily that way, but they did get taken that way. And we wanted to make sure that the previous owners all previous owners knew that we have nothing but the utmost respect and admiration for them because, again, without them, we wouldn't be here. So we will continue to guide the direction of our conversations to be constructive, but we're never trying to be negative or bashing to anyone. I happened to peek in late last night, early this morning, and it looked like the person responded to our comment, and it seemed like it was okay. It didn't seem like there was anything needed further. They seemed happy or at least pleased, appeased, whichever one. They seem fine, pacified. How about that? Pacified. Let's go with that. I'm telling you, recap Rainbow. That's what I want. We're gonna work on that just for the fun of it. But that was really a thing. So I think overall that was pretty good. We talked with the local newsletter. We talked with Miss Jean yesterday, which was an absolute fabulous time. Miss Jean was one of the original owners of PPG. That was Pittsburgh Pizza and Grill. That was 20 years of success in this building before the owners that I bought it from. She came in, walked from the back of the bar to the front of the bar, and just literally told us everything she did, where they had things placed, what she would recommend. And at the whole time had a smile on her face and told us to have a great time. She she also talked to us about the wonderful friend of Arthur here at the bar, which is honestly I can't wait to get to know more. If you did not see yesterday's episode, it's probably because we have it blocked from DDS. She's not allowed to watch that episode. And the reason for that is because we found out that the bar's haunted, according to Miss G. I highly recommend take a look at yesterday's episode. It was freaking. The story was magnificent. Like the way she told the story, I wish she would have been here to tell the story. You'd be laughing the whole time, like laughing in a great way. She was a wonderful woman. But that's what we did yesterday. Like, yesterday was about a lot of research, and one of the things that happened with Jean, we not only did we sit here and talk for like an hour and a half, 2 hours of her walking the bar and whatnot, she brought me so much paperwork of her business. She brought me the very first menu that they wrote down on a scratch piece of paper to the very last menu when they closed. She brought me the very last years of orders from her 5 major vendors. I'm slowly going through, and I say slowly because I'm trying to go through my own stuff setting up the bar. And I am. This is my best Hugh Jackman impression at this time. And I don't mean Wolverine, although if I grew out my sideburns, I probably could pull it off slightly, like a very sick Wolverine, maybe. But I, the Hugh Jackman I'm referring to is actually more the Greatest Showman. You know, that's the one I feel like I am right now because I feel like I'm juggling and I'm putting on a show. And while I'm like, hey, look at this tall woman, my daughter's just standing on milk carts because she can't actually see above the bar if she doesn't. So like that's what I feel like I'm doing. I feel like this is my greatest Hugh Jackman impression of the Greatest Showman, and so I I hope it's working. I do. Absolutely. I wish I could remind you of other things that we did yesterday, but that was the good majority of it. So that was the recap. Yeah, that was the recap. We did honestly the maintenance team they did way more than I did yesterday. They fixed sockets and they dude Luck realized that he knew how to cook with one pizza. He listened to Miss Jean, which by the way, this is something else she did. She told us step by step how to make their pizza, step by step. And then she gave us paperwork that walked us through how to make everything on their menu. So Luck was like listening to her, and then later that night went and made a pizza step by step, like she had said, and then nailed the pizza. Like it looked delicious. He made another pizza tonight. He made a chicken and cheese pizza for Old Dog, and I could smell it. I felt like Toucan Sam following my nose. Dude, it had like herbs and spices on the top of it that were Italian. I If I went on keto right now, I probably would have had like two of those things. Oh my goodness. It's also why I look like a very like sick Wolverine, probably. Still got some weight to lose. It was only 15 minutes long. Um, there should have been two copies. I'll have to figure out what happened. So the first one there, I don't know what's happening with my computer, but when I turn it on to start the episodes, I usually get like 10, 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden my computer decides it wants to restart. Hadn't had the problem all dang day. Been using it for business all day long. Every time I go to start it, 10, 15 minutes, clip. And so we came back right after that 15 minutes. I think we were down for about 2-ish minutes, give or take. We'll take a look to see if that was posted. But I appreciate you letting me know. I'm pretty sure the other video is up there. I thought I took a look at it. Full VOD is on the YouTube, and from what I have now been informed, the socket for the fryers has officially been complete. That is not part of the recap. That is news flash. Dude, if I had some sound effects buttons, this would be a fun broadcast.
I don't know. You do pretty good.
I know. You know, some of the best feedback I got on the entire show of all the weeks I've been doing this, the best feedback I've gotten recently is when I lost video yesterday. People kept telling me they were having a ball watching me do a bunch of sign language on here. And just so we're clear, recap, it wasn't sign language.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. But everyone has said they had a blast for the couple minutes so that I had no sound. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is that a backwards compliment? Are you guys telling me to shut up more? What the hell? I just caught on to that. I just caught on. Hey, you bastards. No, all right, let's get into what we did today. I'm dragging my feet because today it was not exciting. I'm not going to be able to spruce today up too much. Here's what happened. First of all, our first meeting I had was 11 o'clock, just like yesterday. And with Spot On, same people. Today's meeting was more about trying to show me the application of how to get Spot On to work. And I'm going to tell you that I actually want to give a quick shout out to Spot On for the way they made their stuff. So if I had my soundboard right now, shout out to them. Ooh. Look at that. Shout out. I don't know what that was, but shout out to them. Hey, we're going to start treating today's show like whose line is it anyway? We're just going to make sound effects based off what we think it sounds like and run with it, okay? No, but a shout out to Spot On because here was their training. They literally had a guy walking me through every single button on the page so I would feel better. Now, that's not why I'm going to give the shout out because quite frankly, the training was boring as all get out. I'm not hating on the guy. I actually appreciate the guy. He was fun. He was funny. He realized I could pick things up, so he tried to skip ahead things. He was good. The training itself is boring because they're literally taking you step by step to every button. Now, why am I giving him a shout out even though the training was boring? Because the training was boring because I'm not stupid. Okay? And don't be offended by that unless you're stupid. Okay? Then you can be offended. But if you're not stupid, you shouldn't be offended because literally I didn't need someone to say, "Hey, if you want to add a user, you click the add user button. If you want to remove a user, you click the remove user button. If you want to add an object to the guest, you click on the object and you click on the guest." I didn't need someone to walk me through that, but mad props to them that their training is that simple. They are the greatest. Look, computer scientists clearly programmed their shit. How do I know? Because we don't reinvent the wheel. We're too damn lazy. When we create variables, it's exactly what the hell we want it to do. We ain't got time to create acronyms like NASA. We don't have time to create all that other bullshit. We just go straight to it, okay? So, spot on, your training is magnificent. The only bad news is I don't need your people. I already have your videos. And more importantly, I can read when I want to. By the way, I've already set up another training because I thought the guy was kind of funny. So I told him, hey, I'll spend another hour with you. We can sit and chit chat. Dude, it gives him like an easy break. Why not? I figured that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, they were spot on. That's true. You can program a lot of the stuff. It's funny. As he was going through it today, he started talking. He goes, well, you guys can mix up these buttons and I'll show you where that is. And I'm like, dude, I've already found it. I didn't say it, but I was like in my head when he gets to it, I'm like, yeah, I've already found it. I know how to program it. That's cool. Literally, it's click this button, read it. Yep, that's what I want to do. Click that button. That's all it is. And the programming, it's not really programming either. It's you click the button. What do you want it to do? You tell it what you want it to do, and it kind of just does it. So it gives you a drop down list. You can select the automatic stuff that's already in it. If it's not on the list, you tell them what you want them to do, and they kind of just work on it. I don't know. I will probably stress test that part about the design once I get into it. Right now, I just want to get started, but I'm already slowly kind of getting into that. That's why I haven't finished all of Miss Jean's stuff. So yeah. But right now, I'm actually really excited to be working with Spot On. The information's cool. Teamwork is the reason why we had a meeting with Spot On yesterday. Teamwork is what we're going to be using for our scheduling, but it also allows the bartenders to potentially get their tips the day of if they want. It also allows for our payroll system to integrate with our point of sale system. That's going to be amazing for reports. Also, avarice. I don't know if you've made it in or not, but in case you have, or you're watching the video later, avarice, I lied to you completely, not on purpose. I told you that on Tuesday we were going to have a meeting with Spot On about reporting. When I got home today and looked at my email, which I'll tell you guys why I wasn't here, it turns out they canceled the meeting that I put on there because they needed to ask me other questions first. So I will have to update you on when that meeting is going to be. Yeah. Why wasn't I here? Well, that's part of the reason why today's episode is not overly exciting, downright boring. Because after I had my meeting at 11 o'clock today with Spot On, which took about an hour, didn't really need, we we slowly worked on a couple things. And when I say we, I should take myself out of that because I walked around because there wasn't a lot I could do. I started working on Miss Jean stuff. I'll explain what that means in a moment. Lucky started doing some of the work that I kept putting on my list and kept telling you guys, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I just didn't do it tomorrow. Well, now I can't because Lucky completed it. Every TV up in the bar. Yeah. I'm watching Thursday Night Football on every TV in the bar right now. It's as close to a bar feeling as I can get. Hey, and before I get blocked, I want to make sure that everyone understands. First of all, I know you really can't see the TV because of the way the camera works, but I have a license, just so we're clear. I literally own a license to be able to show that. I hate that I had to say that. It actually makes me angry. Those are expensive. Expensive. Anyway, we got 5 TVs up in the bar. Every single one of them are on right now. They are connected to all of our cable TV. They are connected to all of our sports. Shout out to Luck Soundboard. He got some stuff done. He even cooked more pizza today. Like I said, made me want to punch him in the face because I'm extremely wanting to eat pizza and I don't really like pizza. and I'm on keto, so we got to get some keto dough as soon as we can. But that's we worked on that for a little bit of time. Then after that, we had a 3 hour ride. Nope, we didn't go home. We did not go back to Sandusky. We did not go see family. Yeah, 3 hour ride. Normally, that's what we're doing. We had an hour and a half to get over to Columbus. That's right. We are an hour and a half away from Columbus, Ohio, the capital. We are 22 minutes away from Dayton. We are just under an hour from Cincinnati. And we are just, what is it? I think we're like 45 minutes to an hour away from Indiana. We are hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes away from Kentucky. Like Sunday drives where we are at, you go in a direction and dude, you're just going to end up somewhere different. But we drove for an hour and a half. We had to go over near Columbus. And the reason why is because of our well. Yep, well. See, lucky all of you wonderful people that go to a bar that has that wonderful, best tasting city water that you all drink willingly, um, even though you filter it, which I still find funny. And obviously, when I say you still drink it, I mean that facetiously and sarcastically. So, most of us do not drink our water out of our faucets anymore. I still drink out of a garden hose. I don't think that's good for me, but I do it anyway. I drink lots of alcohol. Nothing lives in there anymore. But we have a well, so we have to make sure that since it's coming from the ground, that we have no bacteria, we have no natural gases or any other microorganisms growing in our water causing a potential problem. So we have to get it tested every single month. We have to take a sample of it, drive it right now to Columbus, and then turn it in. They test it, they send it to the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. Every time I say that, all I picture are little yellow people in suits coming down from the ceilings because there's a sock on my back. That's all I picture every time I say the EPA. But Mr. Wazowski, that that took us some time and killed a good portion of our day. I mean, if you worked for 8 hours and three of them were driving, 30 minutes of us were talking to the lady because I was asking her questions. I'd never ran a business with a well before, so I was asking questions, and she probably thought I was stupid, but she had a good time. She was laughing with us. She was smiling. So I mean, I hope it was the hardest part of her day. If that was it, she probably had a good day. Let's see what else. Other than that, we stopped at Walmart briefly. Why? Deodorant. Yeah, I ran out. You gotta be careful when you want behind the scenes passes. Yeah, sometimes it stinks. Nah, I use deodorant. Yep, I already used it. But that's what we had to stop for. So we stopped at Walmart, picked up some deodorant, a couple of the other things that were on our list that we needed to get anyway, which I'm trying to remember what it was. We had to clean something. We had to get something to clean. Oh, moss. We got stuff to get rid of some moss that's on our front steps. Yep. Other than that, yeah, that was really it. Then we came back here and I continued working on the information I had started earlier in the day for Miss Jean. Cut back to that. I told you guys that Miss Jean had brought me a ton of paperwork. And so what I started doing this morning while I was waiting for David, not David, uh, sorry, got mixed up with all my freaking names of what's going on today. David is one of the vendors. Uh, Old Dog, thank you. So while I was waiting for Old Dog a little bit earlier today, I was working on this stuff for Miss Jean. So I felt like a spy today. I honestly did. And part of me really wish I would have had one of those old spy cameras because I'm sitting at the table. I have this big old table that sits 10 people. And I'm sitting at this table and I've got paperwork all spread out. And it's like all of her menus. And so I'm taking these pictures, or I asked first. Okay, she gave me permission. Relax. It's not espionage. I was taking all these pictures because I wanted to see what made them so successful. And our menus are actually really, really, really identical. Really identical. Not like there's very few differences, changes at all. And so I'm taking the pictures of that, and then I finished that, and then old dog wasn't quite ready to leave yet, so we I kept going with then her year-long vendor receipts. And when I say year-long vendor receipts, we have three vendors that they also use. Now, again, they use these vendors for 20 years. Cisco was one, GFS, Gordon Food Services two, Piqua Pizzas three. Now, she gave me two other ones. Okay. One of them I was doing research in, but we currently don't have an account with. But they are still around. And then this other one that they have, which is probably their biggest account, is no longer in service. They got bought out. And I got to trace it and figure out where it went. But I literally have 5 folders, thick folders of everything they bought for the whole year. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to take me forever. Now, I have to tell you that as I was on the meeting with Spot On this morning, I got a phone call from Miss Jean. I love Miss Jean. Again, please watch yesterday's episode about Miss Jean. She is absolutely a love. Like she's your grandma that you want to go over and she has cookies like in the tin jar for you. Like she's that lovely of a person. I bet you she probably makes warm pies, leaves them on the ceiling, like feeds. She like pampers all her grandkids. I have no doubt about it. Right? She's just that kind of person. Watch yesterday's episode. You'll find out. But she gives me another call today this morning. She goes, I hope it's okay that I called. And I'm like, absolutely, Miss Jean. How may I help you? What can I do for you? And this time, I actually said it out loud just so we're clear. That'll make more sense if you watch yesterday's episode. But this time I said it out loud. I was like, absolutely, you can call Miss Jean. I just apologize. I was in a meeting. But how can I help? And she goes, no, 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 you're perfect. And she goes, I wanted to let you know that I forgot to tell you some stuff yesterday. And it made me chuckle because my heart like started warming up again. Like she's calling me because she forgot to tell me what they did in the walk-in. I'm so behind on everything else she's told me. I'm like, no problem. That just gives me time to try to catch up. But she goes, here's what we did in the walk-in. She starts explaining it on the phone, and I'm picturing it kind of as best I can. And then she goes, oh, and I also remembered we had a beer mug freezer. And I was like, really? Where did you guys have the beer mug freezer? And she goes, right in front of your door. And I went, I don't think the health department's gonna let me do that anymore. And she goes, probably not. Like she's a lovely lady. Love talking to her. She's got sense of humor. She's sarcastic. She's genuine. You definitely will not get something fake from her. But we talked for a few more minutes, and then I knew she was going off to work. But I also asked her, I said, hey, I remember you telling me yesterday that you needed a new scanner. And I said that if they didn't bring you a new scanner, you could come in today and I will scan your stuff for you and we'll get you taken care of. She goes, I'm so glad you checked. They actually got me a brand new scanner. And I'm like, but did they hook it up? And she's like, yep, it even works. I was like, perfect. So great relationship with Miss Jean. That was, I have to say, highlight of the day because she always makes me smile. I only talked to her probably for like 30-ish minutes, but like she put me in such a great mood for the rest of the day. It was awesome. Then we went and did our 3-hour drive. And then I came back and I continued pretty much, you know, spying or taking all my pictures. Here's what I've done so far. I've got 3 of the 5 when it comes to the vendors. All of them down. I got all the pictures taken. What I'm doing is taking all those pictures and filling in my information and running reports off of it. So by tomorrow, I will have reports broken out with everything they've purchased in that last year, alphabetically, how many, how often, when was the spikes, when did they go down. I will have it cross reference between all five of them, and I will have it as a recommendation of what we could see based off of inflation of 5 years. That should be completed by tomorrow. It's what I do. This is my wheelhouse. I'm a numbers guy, right? And I know you probably rewound it the last 10 seconds as I was explaining all that, going, I'm sorry, what? To me, I got excited. I was like, oh, because I could see every part of it connecting in my brain, and I was like, I'm gonna click a button. It's all just gonna work magically the way I wanted. Let's just say, in layman's terms, I'm gonna have a better understanding based on what they did when our peak seasons for certain items may be. Now, that's if I used their exact stuff. If I used like same menu, everything like that, we're going to make changes, but it gives me a benchmark somewhere that I can start and grow from. I'm not just literally throwing darts at the wall saying, yeah, let's order 4 cases of chicken this week. And again, I understand that all the information is 5 years old or older, but um, it's called projection for a reason. And if you're anywhere in the restaurant industry, you're used to projecting. And you're used to going back about 5 years to be able to get some pretty accurate projections. So I think we're doing good on that. I'm happy with it. But I got two more vendors to go. They are the two thickest, if I am the absolute honest. The one is the vendor that is no longer in business. You'd probably be like, why waste your time? Because once I actually track it down, I will figure out who bought them out, and I will need the information still. I want to know if they have very similar things that I could order. And then the other one is actually GFS. And so they spent probably, what was it, about a third of their cost in GFS. So I want to kind of get a good idea what might still be there. I'm going to reference based off what we are thinking about ordering now and kind of go from there. It's also going to make it easier as I use those comparison to what we now do monthly. Oh yeah, it's going to be able to really give us some great numbers. So hopefully it helps my front of the house, back of the house stay stocked and ready to go. Speaking of which, for one of the recaps, we made a huge announcement yesterday. We did. It was a very special announcement yesterday. As you guys all know from previous episodes, we have officially announced December 4th is when we are reopening. And I have to say it this way, it's the first time that the bar is opening for me, right? This one. It's the first time this bar is going to be opening for me. So we're really excited for December 4th, so much so that we wanted to set it up for a great event. And I looked at my entertainment team and I said, hey, give me 3 live acts. And they went out and I want to say we made a mistake, but we didn't. It was actually a great thing. But we went out to all our social media and we said, hey, musicians all around, let us know if you like to play music. Hey, let us know. Oh my goodness, there are so many people around here that are not only interested, love it, passionate about it, do it as a profession, and just absolutely good at singing around here. I've seen so many different acts at this point. There's these two boys, and I say boys, I am not insulting them. They are very young gentlemen. Okay. They have one of the greatest and wildest followings I've seen so far. And I'm not getting it out of the bag yet because we're going to have them here. Yeah, we're going to get them here. So I don't want to let it out of the bag yet. We'll make that announcement when it's time. But I said, go give me 3 live acts. They went and scavenged. And then we announced soon after that we found someone that we just knew was going to be the right type of tempo that we needed to open this place. It was just going to be the right type of environment and just bring it. And so on the 5th, right in, uh, can't wait to hear him. Reminds me of some great country singers that are out there, especially if that's your wheelhouse. He does some other covers as well. Man, he's gonna rock the joint. That night we already have a 10 top reservation. Yeah, already. So man, I'm expecting to have a great time. I really am. But yesterday we made another announcement. We said, you know what? We love Toby Leach on the 5th. We do. But that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. We love him, but it wasn't enough. So what we did is we said, hey, we said Pittsburgh, Ohio, all the surrounding cities. Yeah, we see you, Dayton. We see you, Greenville, Laura, Ludlow Falls. We see all y'all guys, Arcana. We needed to know, who do you love? Who do you love in this area? And we went and we got them. We had to work fast. Because when we found out who everyone loved, we were like, well, let's see if they're busy. And woo, they stay pretty busy. So we went after them. And my entertainment team, they're absolutely amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we announced that we got the absolutely adored, loved, admired, and going to be here December 4th, our opening night, Jeff Rarick. Yes. Now, one of the things Jeff Rarick does, old dog really likes him some Jeff Rarick. He was listening to him. He was like, man, can we get him in here? He plays some really good 70s, 80s type of classic rock. I like it. No, I really do. I really do. And that's not all he plays, but that was one of the things that kind of caught my attention. I was listening to some of the covers he was doing, and I was like, ooh, that boy got some vibes. I can see why everyone loves him. And from what I was watching in the video, he tries to work with the crowds. So on December 4th, we got the Jeff Rarick Show coming to you, followed by December 5th, Toby Leach. And that's right, December 6th, we've got another announcement coming to you. We can't let it out of the bag yet. We're working. We're signing a couple things. We've almost got it. We know who we want. We know who we're talking to. And just so we're clear, all you musicians out there, I don't know why I said that weirdly. All you musicians out there, we are trying to get a hold of all of you. When I said that there was a lot of you, I mean, holy jeez, it took us days. We're still not even through everyone's responses yet. We're trying, but we are individually responding to all of you. We're trying to schedule, please. If we haven't scheduled you yet, that doesn't mean we don't like you. That just means we are trying really fast because we want you here in the bar. I can even tell you that we have openings for all different types. We got DJs that we are talking to. Absolutely. Let's put some DJs up in here. I know there are people that love to dance. I know this is Farm Town, and I know she thinks my tractor's sexy. I know it. I know people love to dance even though it's Farm Town out here until the cows come home. I get it. Right? So we talking to some DJs. We are. Hey, gotta let you in on another little secret. We're talking to some blues. Look, I love the blues. And I mean, I want real blues. I want like Southern blues. And I have been listening to some Southern blues, and I can't wait to announce a few of those artists to you that we got coming. We've got some young artists. I told you that about two boys that have an absolute great following. They play banjos. I can't play a banjo. I don't even think that was right. I don't know. But they play banjos way better than I do. And we are trying to get, not trying, we are getting them here, right? Dude, they have a far out booking. That's how good they are. They are a far out booking. We're getting them here. It's just going to be a little. But we have other acts. I was listening to this wonderful young lady just yesterday, actually just yesterday and the day before. The entertainment team was like, you got to hear this girl. And I was like, absolutely, let's hear it. And she has such a great voice. I've already been told that we are getting her here in the bar. Absolutely. I'm going to make that announcement when the time is right. When the time's right, we got to work on some stuff. We're trying to get some of our promotion details out there. Yeah, we want to make it a big deal for them because it's huge. So we're trying to get some of our, why can't I think? Why can't I think? Some of our, I don't want to say ads, they're not ads, they're promotions. I know I said promotions, but it doesn't feel right. But some graphics, that's what I'm talking about. Graphics. We're trying to get some of our graphics ready to go. So that way, when we do make these announcements, I want them to pop because, man, I love these. But Frozen, I've been watching you. Absolutely, yes. Comedians are in the works. One of the things I told my entertainment team, there are no holds bar into entertainment. People get entertained by lots of things, and me, I get entertained by laughing. I would love to get some comedians up in here. We're gonna have some live mic nights, absolutely. We are going to have. I even told him. I said, hey, go get me some poetry readings. I'm down for that. Absolutely. Right? I don't care what the entertainment is, get it in here. We'll find out if it works or not. I want to try a little bit of everything. So definitely comedians will be coming in. What else we got going? Oh, I like the idea of that tradition. I like that. I like that. I want to do something like that. I would say Notorious, mark that down. I like that idea that from Frozen. Definitely. Oh, I know what we'll do. I know it. Frozen. Frozen, you just gave a great idea. Frozen, I got this. So I'm gonna piggyback off of another great friend of mine. Okay, so I'm gonna give a shout out to Frozen and a shout out to one of the best tattoo artists in this planet. So Skip, this one goes out to you too. Um, there is something that Skip does that I've always admired about him. And since the time I met him, he's been doing my tattoos for years. Okay. And every time you get a tattoo at Skip's, what he does is he hands you this book. And he says, pick any page, pick any writing utensil, pick anything you want to say. It could be about the tattoo, it could be about what you're feeling, it could be you're happy, sad, doesn't matter. Just write it down. It's your reflection. What do you want me to know? And here's why he does it. Because I asked him, I was like, what's the point of the book? Like, is there a theme to it? And he goes, no, there's no theme. He goes, originally there was no theme, but they're slowly becoming one. He goes, here's why I do this. It's my time capsule. He goes, when I get done and I'm ready to retire, I'm going to look back at all the tattoo stories. Everything that the customers are writing in the book, it's whatever that meant to them, and it was between us. I was like, dude, that's awesome. And so every time I get a tattoo, I write something new in it every single time. You can write, you don't even have to write. He doesn't care if you write. It's completely up to you. But I write something new every time, and it's always about the journey of the tattoo with him. Because he makes it special. Like I know, I keep telling you guys, I'm going to show you the Gambit tattoo. I have not debuted the Gambit tattoo yet. It's right here. It's right here. I want to. I want to sleeve it up. I want to sleeve it up. Right? Oh, what if I teased it? What if I teased it? You ready? Watch this. Oh, look at that. Tease it a little bit. Yeah, look at that ace. So, three-quarter sleeve is what they call it. I don't think it's a three-quarter sleeve because it doesn't wrap all the way around. Technically, the tattoo kind of does, but it really doesn't. But they still say it's a three-quarter sleeve. I will debut that. But anyway, Skip, major shout out to him. Love him. Frozen, you're the one that reminded me of that. I think having a guest book, I know that's what they call them for like the weddings and stuff like that, but I think our guest book of Man, I want to work that out. I think that's going to be such a great idea. The only reason why I don't want to do a wall, which I normally would be doing a wall, I would normally do a wall, but there is a wall in this bar. It's right over here to my left. It's really weird looking at a video saying left and you see your right arm. Anyway, the wall's to my left, and I have something special for that wall. And I was gonna let this be a surprise, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know what I'm gonna do. So we have a family member of ours that traveled from Washington to Ohio with us, and they were originally from Ohio, and they had been with our family for technically they'd been with me and my immediate family for a small amount of time, short amount of time, and they were with my father for a long amount of time. And unfortunately, soon after we had gotten back to Ohio, that family member of ours had passed away. It was a very tragic event to us, and it took us a while, and I wouldn't say that we're even over it. I actually still leave that family member on my phone on our family chat. Um, and I don't change the name of that because of that family member and what they mean to me. So, one of the things is that family member always, from the time that they had heard that I wanted to open a bar, they were always in my corner and they were always behind us and they were rooting us on and they wanted to give us all the advice that they could because they used to help with bars when they were younger. And they were just always behind us. So that wall that I think will be perfect for. What I'm going to do is I'm naming that Angie's Friends. And Angie is the name of our family member that unfortunately had passed way too soon. But it's going to be Angie's Friends. And one thing, I didn't know what I wanted on the wall yet. I just knew I wanted her to be a part of it. And honestly, if I wouldn't have thought of this other thing first, this would have been perfect to do of what Frozen was talking about. But I've already got this idea and I'm kind of really stuck on this one. I found out that during Veterans Week, the local newspaper puts out a, I don't know how to word it, like I want to say newspaper, but it obviously was the newspaper, but it's a section, let's say a section of newspaper that is every known veteran from the area. No matter what they did, no matter what time they had served. And it is literally columns and rows of pictures, their name, their rank, the year. And that's all it is. And it is, I think it was something like 20 pages. And it's just veteran after veteran after veteran. There's no ads in it, it's just veterans. And that's what got me thinking. As much as we love veterans around here in the bar, and we're going to do a lot of what I believe a lot of good work with them, a lot of partnerships. I support all of our troops. Maybe not our government as much, but I definitely support all of our troops. And I wish them all the best. Stay safe. If you are definitely enlisted right now, stay safe. But I kind of want to put some of the local veterans up there with Angie's Friends because Angie was just as she loved the military just as much. And so to me, when I had thought about that and thought about putting some names and some other remembrances up there for people, um, it just felt right. So that wall is definitely dedicated now. I'm going to be looking for a painter to help me out with it because I do want it painted up there. It does not mean we can't do another guest wall. We could definitely do that. But I just thought of another idea, and this is a tribute back to when I was a teacher. I used to love doing this as a teacher. I did this every year, and I would at the end of the year, I hated yearbook signing. I know I have a lot of previous students on here. I hated yearbook signing, if I'm going to be honest with you. Here's why. There's a lot of you, there's one of me. I have carpal tunnel. You know how hard it is to write for a lot of you? I hated yearbook signing, but I never complained. I always did it. It just took me time and I always did. And I tried to sign different things based on every single relationship that I had. But I didn't like yearbook signing. Instead, what I would do is I would get my students to write on a shirt. Yeah, I would get them to write on a shirt. And they could write any message they want. Now, I got that idea from one of the first classes that I interned with. And I wanted a way to remember them, and they wanted to leave me tips. And it was a really cool idea. And so I told them, I said, well, why don't you put the tips on the shirt so that way when I'm teaching, I could just look down at the shirt and remember the tip. And that's where that idea for me got started. And from that day forward, every year, I just had kids sign and leave whatever comments they wanted on the shirt for me, but then I would put them up on my wall in the classroom. I'd put them in shadow boxes. So for me, how cool would it be because I have a shirt, I have a guy that prints shirts. Now I need to get on this like right now in order to make it in time for the 4th and 5th. So we could still do this. We just got to do it fast. But how cool would it be to print out a shirt saying like the date and like their name, like make it a big thing on the shirt, like almost an advertisement, and then have people in the bar sign it and then put that up on the wall. So, like, for example, we would have Jeff Rarick and December 4th, and we start putting their shirts up on the wall. We have people from the bar signing it that we're like, oh, here. Now, that's just one crazy, crazy ass off the wall idea. I'm not saying we have to do that. I love spitballing. Maybe something I said makes my entertainment team go, oh, no, I want to do this. Cool, do that, right? Frozen, this all started because you said, well, what about this? And that's one of the things I love about you, man. You're always trying to come up with an idea. What can we do to make it better? There's always something. So I think that would be a really cool idea. I know I have no doubt Notorious and Spider there on that. They'll definitely think of some ideas. Maybe if we don't get the shirts right now because it's too soon, we can't quite pump them out right now. Maybe we do some TRT shirts and I don't know. We'll think of something like um, a guest book. I still like the idea of a guest book. I think that would be kind of cool. Part of me thinks it would be how cool would it be to make a shirt that they got to take with them. And it may not mean as much to them as it does to us, right? Because some of these guys are really big. Like I said, Toby Leach, Jeff Rarick, and when we announced the December 6th, like a lot of our people tour, like seriously tour. And so it may not mean as much to some of them. Not saying the guys that we got. Um, but how cool would it mean it to a lot of them to just get like a cool souvenir from the place you played? I don't know. Maybe instead of us hanging up the shirt, it's we sign it and we're giving it to them saying, thank you. What a great show you had. Right? How cool would that be? I think that. And maybe ours is something simple where it's just a picture with them and the staff and it's up on the wall. Right? Maybe that's what we do. And we have our people, they sign the picture for us just so they could be like, hey, nice message to us, but the shirt is to them. I think that would be kind of cool. Right? How awesome would that be? I don't know. I'd love to do that for all the people. By the way, we also have some fun things being planned, not just comedians and poetries and painting and we've got slingo, we've got karaoke, open mics. I told you we are gonna have. We just got board and card games in here too, and I say just board and card games. Like we're gonna do movie nights. We're gonna do esports nights. We're gonna come in. You guys are gonna have be able to play some games and stuff. We're gonna have pool leagues, dart leagues, big buck hunter championship. Good luck getting on the machine. But my brother and I probably call dibs. Those are our quarters lined up, just so you guys know. Um, yeah. So we got lots of plans for entertainment. Lots of plans for entertainment. That was, yeah, good Lord, that was our day. I wish I could say more, but it really wasn't. When you have a 3 hour drive, I could tell you what music we listened to. That's about it. And honestly, all I was doing was listening to more music that my entertainment team was sending me. They're like, hey, they've got a spreadsheet for me. They're like, listen to these. And I'm just like clicking on them, listening to people. Uh, just because I'm excited. I'm excited to be in a position that people want to come and play. Like, that's awesome. So, ah, hey, what's the game? What's the score? Let's see it. Dude, what the hell? The Texans are winning. Texans are beating the Bills 23-16 for those of you that have not been paying attention. Are you guys ready? I think it's about time to the end. Old dog, Luck, you guys ready for some Hell Hydrate? Now, before we get to Hell Hydrate, I need to let you guys know if you watched yesterday's episode, um, you could skip to about the last 5 minutes. We were getting ready to Hell Hydrate and we found out that Luck passed out. Yeah, he passed out like even before the stream was over. So we continued a very proud tradition, been going on for generations. Now, some people may have called it hazing, you know, hoser, but only some people called it that, okay? We don't haze. We're not about negativity in here. So, it may or may not be the reason why Luck didn't appear for the third day in a row is because he was afraid of the cock on his face. And I don't mean like any private parts. We would never do that. What? What? No. God, we're not childish. What do you take me for? Come on now. Okay, so we tried to draw a rooster and it didn't really work, so it just turned into a cock and balls. But originally, the plan was a rooster, okay? Just so we're clear. The plan was a rooster. And he may or may not have been able to get it off yet. I'm not saying we did anything. This is live. This would be People's Exhibit A. I know by now it'd be People's Exhibit 99. But I'm just saying it may or may not have happened. Why he's not online. Just throwing that out there. All right. With that, we got to get a new drink here in the bar today. I also want the record to show I've come to the determination that I will not be keeping tabs on all the shots I take on stream. Many reasons. One, they don't like having People's Exhibit over 99, turns out. So that would just be 100, and we can't have that. Two, I've already finished a few bottles. So that's going to skew the numbers of the inventory. Don't tell the front of the house manager. So today, episode. What do I like? Yeah, this will work. I like this. This. It's true. Today's episode at the Tin Roof Tavern. Shameless plug. Yep, same thing. All right. Luck has to stay on one side of the screen. I don't know why. Rewind 15 seconds. No idea why. I always start with him first because well, it's polite. Good. 3 second port, right? We learned from that yesterday. I heard we're supposed to spell Mississippi while we're pouring. I don't know how to spell though. That's weird. All right. Here we go. Today's episode brought to you by Fireball. Hey, whenever you need to clear little angry looking turtle dudes, Fireball. Those of you that get the Mario reference, 2 thumbs up. Anyway, I don't think they're going to be a sponsors of us anytime soon either. Probably not. Maybe we can get Nintendo. Before we get going, I got a shout out to everybody. Frozen, you stopped by again today. Absolutely appreciate it. I love it. Monkey Balls, welcome back home, my friend. The stream team keeping me looking good. Hey, we didn't have any cutouts today. Good job on the power. That's not really your problem. That's more mine, but whatever. And we also had no sound problems as far as I could tell. So hey, we're moving forward. Shout out to all you guys. Did we get it all? Yeah, we did. I think we did. So that means it's time. Put the glasses in the air. Glasses in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we are hell hydrating as always because here at the Tin Roof Tavern, we make sure that we bring everyone together. So, ladies and gentlemen, this toast, let it be to your family, where it doesn't have to be blood, it just has to be real. Skål. Now, chilled Fireball definitely tastes. It really does taste like a Fireball, like the old candy you put in your mouth. That's a lot of cinnamon. Which reminds me, one more thing before we get out of here. And another proud tradition in the kitchen. When I joined Outback Steakhouse, which got me started in all of my cooking careers, they had a proud tradition to all the new cooks. All you had to do was take a small tablespoon of cinnamon. That was it. And so we're going to continue that proud tradition because here we don't believe in hazing. We believe in waterboarding. No, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate that you're all here at Calypso's Lounge. I hope I made you smile at least once today. At least once. Because damn, the world out there, it can be dreadful. But as long as you're with family, every day's a blessing. So on behalf of everybody here, you guys know me. I'm your host with the most. Dude, I'm your beau with the flow. I'm Calypso. May the stars light your path, and may the wind blow your way. We out. Check out these tunes by Notorious. Have a great night, everybody.